Hey, everybody, it's Will,
And this is Thomas.
and we are back once again at the virtual spinner rack. This time we're looking at Astonishing Tales number 8. That's right, right?
That's right.
Oh, go,
Astonishing Tales number 8.
good. I got it right this time. I was like,
You got
I
it
was
right.
like, Astonishing Tales or Tales to Astonish. I don't know the
Nope.
friggin' difference.
Astonishing Tales. Astonishing Tales. This is the first series. It came out in the 70s, and this is a couple years after actually Tales to Astonish had ended and become the Incredible Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, this was kind of a showcase book for the time. It only run about 40 or 50 issues, I think it was. I'd have to look exactly. I've actually got most of this entire run. The first, I think it's 8 or 10 issues, I would say, feature Kazar and Doctor Doom, and then from, like I said, it's either nine or 11 to about 21 or 22 feature Kazar by himself, and then the other thing that this series is really good for, besides the Doctor Doom stories in here, which are absolutely incredible, 6 is a great issue too with Doctor Doom, where he pretty much frags Black Panther. But uh, they introduced Deathlock in this series. His first appearance is in here,
Oh, yeah.
and the Deathlock the Demolisher series run like 10 issues, and there's some great art, great stories in there. But you were talking about you love Doctor Doom, and you said you'd never read this one, so I'm like, hey man, we got to read this. This is a
Yeah, and
great
this
story.
this this one was great. I read the Kazar one; it was pretty interesting, and it's a
Yeah.
great. It was a great little cliffhanger.
Well, the thing is too, I forgot how good the Kazar story actually was. The Doom story always stands out to me because it's just so weird. It's kind of off the cuff for a Doom story. But the Kazar story is good too. And Kazar was the first. He was like the very first Tarzan clone because he come out in what 30. Kazar's first appearance is actually in Marvel Comics #1, so it's like 1939 or something, whatever the first issue is with the Human Torch on it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, pre Captain America, it's him and Namor and uh, Kazar, Namor, and the original Human Torch. I think are the 3 characters introduced in that issue.
My buddy actually got a copy of that at a local convention at a VFW hall. Uh,
Really,
Probably about 7 8 years ago.
damn.
I was picking up from various dealers. I was picking up like treasury editions.
Yeah,
One guy was a complete douche and overpriced everything. The guy that looks in Overstreet and he goes
yeah,
to the highest price for
and
the
that's what
crap
it is.
for the crappiest comics, and that's what it
Yep.
is. There was another comic store that was local to us that did even worse. Uh, they had hired a couple of yahoos that would work the store, and they would price up the books. They weren't allowed to cash out customers or anything. But what they were doing is, he goes, well, use your better judgment and look between the Wizard price guide and the Overstreet price guide.
Yeah.
Way back when. Well, what these guys were doing is they were taking everything, which was the most expensive price. So they were taking the 9.8 price column from Wizard and Overstreet, adding it together, and that was the price of the book.
What kind of shit is that?
They didn't even. They penguin shit. Yeah, they didn't know they were doing it, and they figured it out. It goes, how are you guys pricing these books? These are way overpriced. It goes, well, you told us to use the Overstreet and the Wizard. Yeah, and to use your better judgment because some of the books are actually, hotter than other books. He goes, well, yeah. So we added them together.
Yeah, my name is Mud.
Yeah, mood.
God,
But
oh my
one
God,
guy had one of the Batman treasuries that I really wanted, and it was advertised a lot in like the mid to late '70s, and it was Batman like this, looking up, and instead of the bat symbol, they were basically searchlights going through the air, and they were like frozen in like circles, boom, 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 and it was like Joker, Catwoman, Penguin,
I know which one you're talking
Mister,
about.
that one. And I never
Yeah,
had that one, so I wanted that one like really bad. But um, the there's a shop in Bellingham, Mass, that I've gone to that I just opened up another box with because why not? Um, but I opened up a box with them because they'll like over order and get like they'll get like all the variants in, and whatever they don't sell they'll take to a show or use in the sidewalk sale, and and dollar bins after they've had it on the shelves for like 6 months. They just backstock it and put them out for like $2 books or something.
well,
um
I just
but
no,
I ordered through them Dead End Kids. But I told them I want one copy each of all the 1 and 5s, which is Ryan Kincaid is doing connecting covers for the entire series for Frank Gogol.
really
So I want all the Ryan Kincaid connecting covers.
cool.
Uh, and they recently got on the list for a Bad Idea, and they were doing, because like every store that has it is doing the all in for Bad Idea posts now again, and they're doing contests for something. I'm like, I don't care. um but so I messaged them like, Jay, did you guys get on the list? Are you guys officially selling Bad Idea books? He goes, oh yeah. I go, oh good, I guess I need to open up a box. I'll take all of them. He goes, one per
Nice.
customer. I go, I know the rules, dude.
Yeah, I know the rules.
I go, you know, but, put me down. I'm all in. So I'll
Yeah.
take all the books,
Hmm.
and the story. And then the cocky people are up there holding up their, the secret trade of Hero that they released under like a pseudo name for Bad Idea.
Okay.
And all these people, most of the dealers, once they figured out what it was, wouldn't sell it. It was a black and white, like kind of like mini trade, like square bound trade thing.
Yeah.
And, it wasn't like very highly produced or anything. And, but once people figured out what it was, they were just holding them because they knew they were going to be hot. And they're all getting them back now from CGC and CBCS and,
Seeing that I just don't get that part. I mean, a brand new book, you get it hot. When it shows up next month, I'll show everybody. I ordered a variant. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Make you wait. But I ordered a variant, and
for
I'm not going to tell you the book. That way you can look it up. It's a Marvel book. All right, look, it's Strange
Okay.
Academy. All right, I'm not going to tell you what issue, but a variant for Strange Academy. Go on eBay. I look up they have a 9.8 graded book. The thing hasn't even released yet, so I don't know how the hell they're going to get it graded 9.8, but 9.8, and they have it for $100, and it's supposed to be released the 7th, I think it is, of December.
And it's
And
the
I was
first
like,
appearance of somebody, and
I don't know. I bought it solely. It's one of those books I bought solely for the cover. Okay, I'm not even reading Strange Academy. I bought it for the cover. That's it. And I found another guy that had a. He says, near mint. I'm shipping them to you. They won't be graded. But I bought the Virgin variant from him and the trade dress for $40, and ungraded.
That's a good deal.
So I get two for the price of one. Or, and if I want to get it graded, I guess I can send it to CGC myself. But
well, I bought one of the Strange Academies.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know what book it was. All I knew was it was one of the Alex Ross timeless covers with Doctor Strange on it, and it looked badass.
Yeah, that's why I bought it. I mean, it's this isn't an Alex Ross cover, but yeah, I mean, there's some books that the covers are so good on the variants, you're like, screw it, I just need this book. I picked up when I was out of town. I've been out of town for 2 weeks, so people were wondering where Boomer was. That's where it was. I've been working. And I did manage to go to the comic book shop while I was out of town, and I picked up an old Thor variant, like 601 or something, from 10 years ago. But it's a Thor Delato variant. And it was in the $2 box. Yeah. Like, holy crap. It's a Delato Thor variant for $2. I'll take this home. Yeah, I don't get that. The one thing that you can look forward to, I did do my comic book order when I got back in town the other day. I've been back home about 4 days, I think now. And I did my new comic book order from DCBS. And of course, it's 3 months out. And like me and you talked before, they have the new DC books up there. And I think I ordered 3 DC books for the month of January.
You know what I'm getting for January and February from DC?
Nothing?
Yep, not a fucking thing.
Well, I had already pre-ordered the Batman Black and White. Okay, so it looks like they're keeping that going.
The Batman Black and White?
Yeah. It's a, you remember they've done them like, this is the 3rd set that they've done. They started them like 20 years ago.
Yeah, I know.
6 issue. Well, they got a new series, Batman Black and White, coming out. And,
okay, so this is what I know about the new Batman Black and White. Supposedly, the first issue, he has a new Robin, and it's a girl, but it's not, what's her name, from Dark Knight.
It's not Kane or Cassandra or whatever her name is. Yeah. What is that her name?
No, that's not her name.
The chick from Dark Knight. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Oh,
with the blonde hair.
The red hair.
Is it red?
Yeah.
Oh God, it's been forever since I read Dark Knight.
Oh, good Lord. Yeah. Okay, next week
the one that
Dark Knight.
We got to reread Dark Knight Returns.
Yep.
Oh God Almighty, dude, we'd have to do that and break that down to like 4 issues.
All 4 issues, yeah. But who it is one of the girls from one of the most useless Batman's comic book spin-offs of all time, Gotham Academy, #1, Volume 1, is her first appearance. And
really?
that book last week shot up to like $25.
Okay.
Because that's her first appearance, and she is the one who becomes the new Robin in Batman Black and White.
Which is going to come out next month. And then #2 will be the month after.
Mm-hmm.
See, I ordered it because I'm like, the previous Batman Black and Whites have all been good. They're Elseworld stories, whatever. We can read it. Hopefully this won't suck. I ordered that, and there's a Swamp Thing comic coming out. and I saw it was number one for that month, so I ordered it.
Oh yeah,
And
but it's part of the future thing.
yeah, it's going to be like future, but I mean, I figure, hey, it's going to be Swamp Thing, so it could be part of our regular Swamp Thing. He may be in it, but it could be pretty good. But I think that's all I ordered from them that month.
But I didn't order anything because down the road, if I want to read it,
It'll be in the
I
dollar bin.
no, my store doesn't actually have dollar bins. Uh,
What?
but he'll like 4 times a year he'll run a sale where any back issues in the bins,
Yeah.
anything under $10 is $1. Anything over $10 is half price.
Hmm. I have to give
Um,
you a shopping list.
I can't go in there. It's not handicap accessible.
Damn it, dude, that sucks.
I told him well, I get the motorized wheelchair now, and you get everything 6 feet apart, but I can't get in the door. He goes, yeah, I'm sorry, man. I'm like, that's okay. I know who owns that plaza, and I'll just stick the handicap accessible people on them.
I mean, well, he's got to make, you know, some kind of updates. I'm sure you're not the only one that would like to go in and buy comics.
Hmm.
Um,
But
well, I
if I
was kind of like I said,
if I go with my PCA, I can go in there with my walker. I can take my walker with me and park my chair outside the door and walk in.
have you got one of those little walkers that you can sit down in?
Nope. Because at my size, it would still have to be extra wide, which means it wouldn't fit through anywhere.
Oh God. Well,
But as
I
long as
imagine,
as
man.
long as I have something to put my hand on,
Yeah.
I can steady myself and walk around. So
Oh, okay. Well, that's good still. But yeah, I don't know. It kind of, like I said, that whole ordering from DC the other day, and I did my whole order Marvel, DC. I actually cut some Marvel books out because they canceled like 20 books, and some of those I was actually reading. But I'll live. And then there were some books that I'm so far behind on Marvel right now. I actually canceled. I canceled Avengers and a few other books. It's like, I'm just not. I'm too far behind in them. Screw it. And then they're down to one Conan book a month now too. So
what do they got left?
uh,
Just regular Conan.
uh, I think it's regular Conan. That's all it was. They just have that. They were saying something about they were going to get back on the wagon and get both issues coming out again, Savage Sword and Conan. But
I saw that they had like a special like King Conan coming out.
yeah, it's the Conan King Size. It's celebrating the 50th anniversary of Conan at Marvel,
Yeah, there's
and it's got like 30 people involved in it.
yeah, there's even a Bullet story in there.
Yeah, Bullet. There's a bunch of stuff going to be in there. It's packed with artists, and then Roy Thomas is actually coming back to write one of the stories.
Yeah, what's it going to be? A 24.95 book?
Uh, I think it was $10.99 or $9.99. Excuse me, $10. What?
Man, I didn't even pay that much for porn when I was 16. Come on.
Well, this is a little bit more quality. Maybe you get a little better reading out of it. You don't have to just look at the pictures.
Yeah, that's all I did. I got it for the articles.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure. I don't see you as the Playboy kind of guy.
No, I would buy it. I would take the centerfold and throw the rest of the book out.
Throw the rest of the book away. All right. We'll talk about art and books. What'd you think of the artist in this one we're looking at today?
It was pretty good. They were the Doom story had lots of Jeans and Jerry's in it.
Yep. And then of course the first story, the Kazar story, is Herb
Right.
Trimp.
Herb Trimp, Roy Thomas.
Gary Frederick,
Mm-hmm.
and Tom Sutton.
Lots of big names right there.
Yeah, I mean it's this isn't a throw off book, not at all. We're talking about art, and we were just talking about Roy Thomas too. But yeah, Roy Thomas and Gary Frederick were writing this one, and like I said, Trimp was the artist. So he was doing this book and Incredible Hulk at the same time because he was doing Hulk in the '70s, early '70s. And this one's 71, I think it is. Yeah. So he's still on Hulk at this time. Buscema hadn't made it to the series yet. Of course, he does he drew Hulk for so long.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the on Facebook. I'm in the Sal Buscema fan club, I think is what it is, and they put his work up there all the time. They always show the Hulk stuff. But they said he drew more Hulk and more Spider-Man than anyone else, which is kind of amazing because you think about it, though, he did Spectacular forever.
Oh yeah.
But so yeah, on this issue, it starts off with Kazar here, and you see there's some people flying in some kind of regular one crop plane that gets attacked or brushes into a pterodactyl, and this lady has to bail out. She bails out, and the guy goes to land the plane, and Kazar sees it from a distance, and him and Zabu head actually toward the wreck. That's a good scene at the bottom with the snake and everything.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I got thinking of was I was reading this issue. I read it early this morning before I went to work, and they show a couple pages down here. They show how big the Savage Land is, right? They got the little volcanoes on the side, and they explain how it keeps. But how damn big it really is the Savage Land, because they never explain how many square miles the Savage Land is. Because there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. And I mean, the X-Men are here, not here now, but they used to have a base in the Savage Land, right?
Mm-hmm. I
When
like
was
that. I was back in the 90s.
Was it in the 90s they had the base in the Savage Land?
Yeah, because Magneto was tagging Rogue.
Oh God!
Remember that the Savage Land Rogue with her ripped up uniform as a bikini.
Oh, yes, I remember that now.
And apparently, just before her uniform got all shredded, she got a boob job.
Before she moved to the Savage Land.
Yeah, because
Did Kazar ever show up in those issues?
oh yeah, he was in and around those issues.
In the X-Men stuff? Yeah. Because, I mean, that's just kind of weird. So Kazar and Zabu head off toward the wreck, and when they get there, there's a guy fighting off some lizard people. And Kazar says they're the lizards who walk like men. And him and Zabu attack to defend old guy.
And as soon as he said lizards that walk like men, I'm like, Slee Stacks!
Oh my God, I forgot that till you brought it up. God, that show used to scare the crap out of me when I was little.
I had the biggest crush on the daughter.
Really?
But, I was like Davy Jones in that instance.
Yeah.
I had the biggest crush on every daughter of every show.
Of every show.
Except for Wonder Woman. It was always, of course, Linda Carter.
Yes. The, man, God, you
and
can't even stream
Electro Woman and Diner Girl.
Dinah Girl. I don't remember Dinah Girl.
You don't remember Electro Woman and Diner Girl from Pro Superstar Hour?
No, I don't.
Oh, good Lord.
I'll have to go watch that. From the what hour now?
Sid and Marty Croft?
No.
Where the fuck have you been?
Me?
You old boomer?
Ah, man, I was watching Star Trek, probably.
No. This was like Saturday morning stuff. You never heard of Sigmund the Sea Monster?
No, I'm gonna have to look damn Sigmund the Sea Monster up.
Oh, okay, you're killing me here. Hold on.
Sigmund the damn Sea Monster?
Mm-hmm.
Sigmund and the Sea Monsters.
No, not. It's singular. There were a whole bunch of different. They had a whole bunch of different shows. It was almost like a. They're the same ones that made Land of the Lost.
Really?
They made a whole bunch of different shows, and they would show like mini episodes of like 2 or 3 of them in like 1 hour. They had HR Puffin stuff, Sigmund the Sea Monster, Land of the Lost.
HR Puffin stuff sounds familiar. Land of the Lost is big time. I love Land of the Lost.
H&R Puffin stuff, Sigmund the Sea Monster, Land of the Lost, The Bugaloos, Lidsville. Bless you. Does the wife have the Rona?
No, the wife has the allergies.
Oh, okay. They had the Croft Super Show, where they would show like 3 or 4, and the Croft Super Show actually had a comic that went along with it.
Oh God, I remember the Bugaloos too. Now that you bring it up,
Electro Woman and Dinah Girl. These all ran like 76 to like Electro Woman and Dinah Girl was 76 to 77. Croft Super Show was 76 to 78. Wonder Bug.
You know why? I've seen Electro Woman and Dinah Girl, so I know what you're talking about now. You know why I don't remember these? Well, I'll tell you why. Because at this time in my life is when we lived in Germany. And I don't remember watching this stuff on the base.
No, they probably didn't have it in Germany.
Nope.
Far Out Space Nuts. What else do they have? Dr. Shrinker. Bigfoot and Wild Boy.
Yeah, I had to catch Land of the Lost in reruns. God, it was on in 74.
Really, Raquel, starring Raquel Welch. You wouldn't have forgotten that.
No, Raquel Welch. No.
Because I'm looking at the promo poster for it, and it's her basically dressed up in that costume that Rogue wore in the Savage Land.
Oh yeah, she's revisiting her costume from was it 20,000 BC?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I missed some of those because we were living in Germany at the time. But
yeah, Dinah Girl was Judy Strangdis. Deidre Hall, who has been an actress on Days of Our Lives for like 60 years, it seems like, was Electro Woman. And then they had like a few other people on there. There's like there's a few episodes of them like actually up there.
Yeah, there's it shows that it only ran one season.
Mm-hmm.
76 to 77.
He went to he originally got bacon,
But yeah, that's kind of crazy. Huh. But cool.
They made a handful of like '70s looking action figures, like the cheap plastic ones.
Yeah.
You know, like the ones they're doing for Marvel right now and charging $20 a piece for like 5 points of articulation. I'm like, these are like $8 figures all day. Get out of here.
Yeah, like the old Star Wars figures.
Yeah, but they had
Just
done.
the arms and the legs move.
Yeah, you can turn the head, and then the arms would move from the shoulders,
Yep,
and the legs would move from the hips, and that was it.
that's it.
But they did ones for the Croft Superstar show. They didn't have a Diner Girl, but they had an Electro Woman. So somewhere I've got a couple of Electro Womans. I didn't buy any of the others.
Yeah, I have to check that out later,
But
even though it's old. But
they did a remake of Electro Woman and Diner Girl, and it was just terrible.
I'm sure it was.
You know, the typical we're gonna take an old property and we're just gonna make a joke out of it because
And it falls flat.
because this is stupid, so we'll just make a joke out of it. And it's like, no, it doesn't work. But yeah, we had the lizards that walk, so we had the slee stacks here, and we keep going.
So yeah, Kazar and Zabu attacks them and finally drive them off and talk to this guy and find out he's a pilot who's actually looking for Kazar. And his fiancee jumped out. She's the one that parachuted to safety. Here's the little map I was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
They got so the Savage Land's big enough to have the Lost Lake in it, which is when we get a little bit farther in the story, it seems like it's big enough to be a damn inland ocean. And then you've got all the mountain ranges and everything else in it. And then it shows that I thought it was on the same page there. Maybe it must be another page where they show. Oh no, right here, yeah. They show that the Savage Land is actually below sea level, and so that's where it is. But they never say exactly how big it is.
When I examine that picture where they had the arrows, it goes, here's where the plane crashed, and here's where the girl parachuted in. I look at it and I go, oh my God, this is a map of Earth from the first Planet of the Apes movie. She landed in the Forbidden Zone.
Yeah, she's way the hell out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That island formed up around Charlton Heston's ship.
Dude, I was talking to somebody at work today about the damn planet, about the original Planet of the Apes, and they're like, I've never seen it. Have you never seen the original Planet of the Apes?
Really?
It's a freaking classic. Even my wife has seen that movie and likes it.
All three of them.
There's five of them.
Well, I don't think she's ever seen the two TV movies.
Yeah, I have.
The Conquest and Battle.
Yes.
What's funny?
The man in the first one.
What's funny is if you watch them, talking about Planet of the Apes now, you can watch them in chronological order, but you got to start with episode 3.
Yep.
Damn it. So, Kazar, Zabu, and the English dude all head out to get Barbara, who has parachuted into the ocean, or the Lost Lake. And she gets to be attacked by plesiosaurs with guys on the back of them screaming, "Killer, killer, killer." But these aren't normal guys. These are Nazis. It's kind of funny. What do you think of these Archaeopteryx? I don't remember them being this big.
Me neither, but they look cool.
Like, really? These Archaeopteryx are big. They're like damn Boeing 737s or some crap. So the Archaeopteryx fly in to save her. And like I said, we find out that the people on the Archaeopteryx are actually from England, and the people on the plesiosaurs are Nazis. They're from Germany, and they've been transported here at the end of World War II, and they're still fighting years and years later.
And they call her crazy because she's telling them that the war has been over for decades.
Yeah, it's been over for like 30 years, people. No. But these guys would be what? They'd be in their 50s now, so they could still be fighting. But it's kind of like, whoa. That's like this is kind of like the story, and I'm not sure if they even knew it here. It had been published at this time. I don't know when it happened. Where they found the Japanese soldier on some island in the Pacific who was still fighting the war. They had been fighting for like 10 or 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
And they had to convince him, look, dude, it's over. But the Englishmen have finally decided they have a way that they're going to get rid of the Nazis who are attacking the island. Because, of course, they're in the island in the middle of the Lost Lake. They couldn't have landed on the land. And they're going to use these.
The Nazis had that little T-Rex shaped island in the middle of the lake, and the Englishmen decided they were going to take these ginormous bamboo tubes strung together and run lava through them into the lake to kill everything in and around the lake, so they couldn't come attack them on their swimming dinosaurs anymore.
Yeah, somehow I don't think that's going to work.
No, just trap them on the island. And then, the last second over here, the man-apes. Oh,
the man-apes attack now. Yep, we had the lizards who walk like men, and now we have the man-apes.
Where's Chaka?
Chaka, damn it. Oh, God. The thing is, reading this, I know this is 70s, and it's kind of cheesy and all this, and I know that Kazar is a Tarzan ripoff, and I love Tarzan. That's another story to for another day, but he's killing an awful lot of damn people in this comic book.
No,
I mean
he's killing animals.
Well, I guess he's killing man-apes and freaking lizards that walk like men, but he's not playing. He's beating people to death with rocks and stabbing them. And
I'm looking at that second panel, and this is like a Star Trek scene right here on that second panel. It's like, oh look, Kazar is gonna knock him over the head with one of those big paper mache rocks that Bill Shatner would throw at people.
I think it's a real rock though here.
Well, yeah. Well, as real as it can be in a comic book, yeah.
Exactly. But I was like, whoa, this is just pretty violent.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
So while they're fighting the man-apes, the Nazis return on their plesiosaurs and attack the boat that Kazar and Kazar, Zabu, and the other guy flee to, and they get thrown into the water. And next issue is, I get we pick up the story from there.
To end in flame.
The thing is,
which makes you think that as soon as the next issue starts, all of a sudden the lava is going to start coming out of the pipes.
That's exactly probably what happens. I could go get. I've read these, but it's been a long time ago. And some of the issues stand out better than others, but I've got them in there. But yeah, that's pretty much what it is. It's got to be lava coming next to melt the or not melt, but dry up the damn lake. Is this the end of the Savage Land? The thing that's funny is talking about Savage Land and Kazar and all this. Back here at the beginning, this guy's like got the map, and Kazar went to Britain and left the map. So that's how they got here anyway. Mm-hmm. They tracked him down through the map that your butt left, dude. But
Well,
That's a good issue.
what I find funny is I really don't think Kazar's map making skills would be all that great.
No, I'm pretty sure they're not. They probably leave a lot to be desired. I can't even remember how he got out of the damn Savage Land and got back to England. Um, we'd have to look that issue up. I can't remember.
But he
But,
apparently didn't like it and came right back.
well, just like Tarzan. Tarzan didn't like it either and came right back. Um, but they followed him, uh, which trouble just seems to follow Kazar.
Mm-hmm.
But the next story in this issue, this one was the one that I was really thinking of for you because you said you like Doctor Doom,
Yeah,
and
this was so good.
the thing is to me this story shows I don't say the other side of Doom, but the other side of the Doom. He is not the villain in this story. I mean, he is the bad guy, but he's not the bad guy in this story. It makes him more human, and it just kind of comes out of nowhere. It's weird.
Or is it he's just not the worst bad guy in this story?
No, yeah, he's definitely not the worst bad guy in this story. Uh, and what's funny is we'll get along to it later, and I'll tell everybody about it. But another series that we've actually reviewed on this show before has the major appearance of a character which Doom fights later on, which would have been in this story had he been created at the right time. And that's Mephisto. But Mephisto didn't show up until Silver Surfer #3.
So instead of Mephisto, we had the big guy.
Yeah, we get the big guy. So this story opens with Doom just kind of up at the top of his castle, overlooking the village, the city, whatever you want to call it.
Latveria.
Latveria in the freaking cold and rain, and he's talking about why he has be haunted by all this, and the honor is mine, and how he's of it, and then there's some scuffling behind him, and he turns around. Oh, by the way, this is a Jerry Conway story, Gene Colan art, and Tom Palmer inker. Stan Lee, of course, was the editor. But so he turns around, and there's an old man there that's, Master, forgive me, it's time. And, Doom's like, I know. And so he follows this old man. And the old guy keeps telling him, he feels that Doom's, reserved and he's cold today. And, his heart throbs with love and love for a long dead person. But he leads him to the castle. This is the art here is pretty good too.
Oh yeah, this is very reminiscent of his horror stuff.
Oh yeah, well, because when did he start Tomb of Dracula? You remember?
Not too long after this.
Was it?
Like
I can't.
it's like mid-70s.
It may have been. It may have been mid.
Like between 70, it's between 74, 75.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. So yeah, it would be right after this because this is 71, so it would have been right after this. So as the old man Boris leads Doom all the way through the dungeon into the room, he finally gets him down there, and he talks about how he's how many times Doctor Doom has tried and failed, and we finally learn that Doom is trying to save the soul of his mother, and he sees her everywhere.
Who Doom's mother was a gypsy and
Yep.
practiced the black arts like he does, and Of course, that's how he learned it. At the very beginning, and but she did a high level spell that, pardon the pun, doomed Doom's mother to hell.
Yep. And she died unconfessed and went to hell. The thing that's fun is, even as the story goes on, Doom is, I mean, he's so different in the first parts, and then even here, he tells Boris, he's like, Boris, you've done what you have to do, leave me, close the door, don't be here, and the old man like really loves him, and he's like, I'm going to do what he tells me to do and leave anyway, and he does. He leaves and closes the door, and leaves Doom to his own, his own duty or whatever you want to call it. And for those of us, being not quite knowing the whole story, outside the castle, the lightning and the thunder is coming down, and it's raining, and the villagers are all looking at the castle, and they explain the whole story of his mom and what's going on. Doom battles for the love of his mother and her soul on Midsummer's Night Eve.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of weird how the colors change so much on these 2 pages. I wonder if that's just intentional or if that's just digital.
It could just be like a bleed through on the reproduction.
It could. Yeah, it could be. I'd have to bring out my original and look again. But yeah, so we go to the very next page. So Boris is left. Doom is in this room by himself with a freaking cauldron. And, the demons are already starting to swirl around him, and he begins to cast this spell, and he starts out, Beelzebub, Satan, whoever you are, come to me, and we're going to fight. And he says, I'm going to do it, no matter what. But even is this, he talks about how his voice cracks and stuff like this. And we don't know what demon it is, but he said, you have a chance to save your soul and everything, but Doom keeps pressing on. And then here's where it starts to get a little crazy. Oh, I think somebody just messaged me. Yeah, it's fine.
To hear new messages, say
But
messages, or to open your messaging app.
So Doom starts fighting them, and the demons are like, you've got one more time, we get it. And the demons attack him. And Doom even asks him, he says, you're being awful treacherous early. They try and burn him with fire, and he fights that back. And the demons send this Gragok the Killer, some stone demonic monster, out to fight him.
Yeah, he's like a rock creature, all in mummy ribbon, and that's it. He sent Mumra.
Mumra. Ancient forces of darkness or whatever it is.
Oh, we're such friggin' nerds.
Oh God. Yeah, so here comes the Kragrok Mumra as he comes out and lets loose on Doom. I guess he comes out of the water. Does he come out of the water or the fire? It looks like fire there, but then the water's up here. But anyway, so this demon just appears.
Mm-hmm.
This demon appears because of the other one and attacks Doom. And I do like how Doom just manages to rip one of the chains off the wall and starts wailing on him. Because they're doing a actual physical fight, and they keep going on. And
but when
Doom
he attacks him, Doom's like,
here.
Well, luckily I had the foresight to install and activate a force field.
Yeah.
Goes, do you really think a force field is going to help you against the forces of hell?
Yeah. And he does. He like punches through the force field and knocks his ass down.
Yeah, he just clocks him.
Yeah.
It's like Mumbra turns into Iron Mike Tyson and KOs him.
He's out. The
Ding,
thing
ding, ding.
is as soon as Doom goes down, it's like the fight's over. I mean, as soon as he loses and his ass gets KO'd, the demons are like, oh, your obligation is fulfilled, but your mother's soul is still with us, as yours will be. It's too late, Doom. You're screwed, and she's screwed, and there's nothing you can do about it. But at the on the last panel, he's like, hey, we'll be back next year if you want to do this again.
Yeah, he said this was a couple of times. He said that this is your last chance to save her eternal soul, and then he's like, goes,
Yeah.
Well, you entertained me this time with the force field trick that didn't work, and I think we'll let you have another go, but same bat time, same bat channel next year.
Next year. It's like, crap, dude. Yeah, if you want, if you dare. The demon leaves. And I guess when he leaves, all the noise stops and everything. So the door opens and Doom stumbles out. He's like all weak and everything. And Boris is like there. And he says it's over. And this is the part that really gets me. It got me the first time I read it. It still got me today. So Doom comes out and he's kind of like, he's upset. He says, I tried, I fought, I failed again. It's over.
He's staggering.
He's staggering. Boris is like, here, rest on my shoulder. I'll help you. And Doom gets mad and shoves the old man away and tells him, I don't need you. I don't need anyone. And he leaves and goes to his mother's grave. And at the end of the story, he's like, maybe next year when I'm stronger, perhaps when I'm fresh, I can finally win her soul.
See, Victor, we told you to use that Nasagil before you went and fought the demons of hell.
It's just, we've read a couple Doom stories, haven't we? One or two? I know so. Personally, I can't remember if we've read any on the show. I think we have, but he's always so arrogant and proud here.
Why do you think I like him?
That's the whole thing. He's the
perfect villain.
He is the perfect. His own. Whatever, his own bravado, his own belief in his abilities is what makes him. That's what allows Reed Richards to defeat him all the time, because he doesn't feel that he can be defeated by anybody as simple as Reed Richards. And the fact that at the last part of this, he's kind of brought low. And when he realizes that he's actually brought low, he gets mad and rejects it. It was a amazing story the first time I read it, and it's been years since I have, but like I said, I read it this morning. It still holds up really, really well.
Oh yeah, it's so good.
But yeah, Mephisto shows up in Silver Surfer number 3, and I don't know if you've read it, but there's a Fantastic Four Annual number 20. Does that sound familiar to you? No, yes.
No.
Okay, no. All right.
I'd have to see the cover, is what it is.
All right. Doom is on the cover with Franklin Richards as a baby. Does that sound familiar?
It means I'd have to physically look at the cover.
Oh, God. See if I can find you a copy and I'll show it to you. Hold on. Yeah, why they want to bring up that stupid movie when I looked up the Fantastic Four. All right. I just dropped it in my folder. Let's see if I can find it now.
Oh, I got it.
Did you get it?
I'm just bringing it up. Giant 1987 giant-sized annual. The fearsome fate of Franklin Richards at the hands of Doctor Doom. Except Franklin's eyes are glowing white, which makes me think that something really bad is about to happen.
Yeah.
I've never read it though.
Okay. The whole part of this issue is that Doctor Doom kidnaps Franklin Richards. Okay, and he actually is he takes Franklin Richards and is going to offer Franklin as a sacrifice for his mother. He offers Franklin's soul to the devil, to Mephisto, for his mother's.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the Fantastic Four stop him and get Franklin back, but his mother is still there. And like a year or two later after that, there's another story that continues this whole storyline, and it's an actual miniseries. It's called Doctor Doom and Doctor Strange, like Power and Triumph, I think it is. And Doom actually goes to Doctor Strange in that story and convinces him to, hey, Doctor Strange, you ain't doing anything this weekend. Let's go to hell and save my mom. You know, it's her birthday or something. It would be nice. So Doctor Strange goes with Doom in that miniseries or graphic novel, whichever one it is. And they go to hell and actually finally save his mom. So the story continues for like 15 or 16 years. But yeah, I've always thought it was a cool storyline.
Well, reading Doom has made me want to read the first Doom comic I ever bought as a kid.
Which is?
Super Villain Team Up issue 14.
That's a John Byrne issue, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
With Red Skull.
No, it's not. No, it's not that one.
It's not that one?
Nope. Burns on it, but it's not that one. This is the very first time I ever saw Magneto.
Okay, I know I've got it because I think I've got most of that run.
It's Doctor Doom and Magneto, Supervillain Team Up, number 14. 30-cent cover price, which is what all that crap at Marvel and DC should be right now, is 30 cents because it's all garbage. And a big blurb on the cover is this the final hour? Doom Supreme. And his word balloons are, Magneto has dared to challenge me. Bow, slaves, and show him Earth's true master. He has the X-Men and the Avengers all bowing before him, like around in a circle. Wasp, Yellow Jacket, Hercules, Vision, Scarlet Witch, Angel, Thor, Iron Man, Beast, Captain America, Iceman.
Yep, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I looked it up now because I couldn't remember which one it is.
I saw that cover when I was a kid on the spinner rack, and I had to buy this book, and I flipped through it over and over again. I'm like, wow.
The whole thing is too, and this is one of the things you should go ahead and tell everybody you're being a boomer.
Mhm.
It took until the mid to early 70s before Marvel and DC even could get out from underneath the comics code and actually let a supervillain star in their own book, because the comics code wouldn't allow that before then. They had to get it loosened up. Um,
They had
but
to
that's a
loosen it
good
up,
series too.
and eventually they got rid of it.
Yep, they finally got rid of it. That was in after 2000.
Hmm.
But the
There was
thing
a
that,
guy online that I became friends with that was doing like trying to sell comics out of his house, and he was selling a
yeah,
bunch of them. And there was one week where I was just tuned in, and I had no money, like right now. And man, oh man, was I bummed out because he had the full run and mostly VG plus the near mint of
yeah,
supervillain team up, and he also had the full run of Marvel's full run of Battlestar Galactica
really.
in the floppies. Battlestar Galactica, the whole thing sold for like $35.
Oh, that gave it away.
Supervillain team up sold for like 40.
And Supervillain Team Up only went what, like 17 issues?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it's
towards the end, it was a lot of reprint stuff.
yeah. I'd have to go back and look at it. I know I've read a lot of the early issues and some of the later ones. I may not have the 14. I'll have to look at it and see if I've got it. But the I love the early issues with Namor and Doom. Doom, like, it's Namor under control,
Mhm.
makes
Yeah,
him attack the Fantastic Four.
the first two were of the series were giant size.
Yeah,
New framing story by Roy Thomas with John Buscema and Joe Sinat. Uh, it also reprints Submariner number 20 from December 1969, Marvel Superheroes number 20.
is that issue one?
That's issue one. Issue two was versus the Doomsmen. That was giant size one and giant size two.
Ah, so see, I may not have those. I just got the super. They're not. I don't think mine are giant size. It's just Super Villain Team Up number one and number two.
Yeah, one, two, and three were one story. Was versus Atuma, Dr. Dorcas, and Tiger Shark.
Huh.
Number four was Submariner. Five was versus Fantastic Four. Six was versus Fantastic Four and the Shroud. Seven was versus the Shroud. Eight was the Ringmaster. Nine was a Tuma crossover with Avengers 154 and 156. 10 was versus the Red Skull. And 10, 11, and 12 were all the Red Skull. And then 13 had Submariner in it versus Warlord Krang. 14, of course, has Magneto with the crossover. That wasn't the X-Men and Avengers. That was, well, it is and it isn't. But that's the crossover with Champion 16.
Oh,
So even the full run of Champions I have, now I have to go out. Now I have to hunt back and buy this issue again because this one crosses over with Champions number
Champions
16.
number 16.
Yeah. Number 15 has Red Skull, but what it does is it reprints Astonishing Tales number 4 and 5.
Huh.
So this was that was the sign of the end. It's like it was almost like, who's drawing next issue? Neil Adams. Oh shit, we're gonna have to do a reprint. Uh, and then the last two issues were 16 and 17. 17 was in June of 1980, and it was featuring the Red Skull. Had Red Skull and Hate Monger,
That's
and
a good
also
villain.
and 17 was also featuring Armin Zola.
You know, some of those little series like that are really good just to buy the older stuff. So that run 17 issues. Uh, I've got Machine Man run like 19. Um, they got pissed off at the end of that when they canceled that series. It's the same thing. They said because that one's got the famous it's cover blurb on it. Collection. It says collection finalizing or collection establishing final issue or something like that.
Hey, it's Pat. Happy Thanksgiving, Pat.
Oh man, yeah. Welcome back, man.
Another hurricane.
There's only been like 37 this year.
Yeah, man. You know, I hope, Pat, that you're finally, just buying that throwaway plastic furniture. So,
It'll float away.
true garbage, 200%.
Yeah.
We were actually off for a couple of weeks. Thomas got shipped out to work like 148 hours over the course of 3 days, and Aquaman was first.
No, he wasn't. Namor was first. We just talked about this. Namor appeared in Marvel Comics #1 from like 39. Aquaman showed up in 41.
But what's important is during the Amalgam series, Aquaman kicked Namor's ass.
Oh my God, really?
No internet for 5 weeks.
Yeah, I was down to 2 weeks because the hotel they put me up in, I couldn't connect to the Wi-Fi, and the phone service was terrible.
I'm like, what am I going to do without internet porn for 5 weeks? What the hell?
Oh my God.
And by internet porn, I mean, free online comics. At our sponsor, Spinwiz Comics.
Yeah, you forgot the Spin Whiz.
No, I've been sticking it in the end.
But putting it in.
Pardon the pun. Because that way I make him watch the whole show.
You make them watch the whole show.
He makes somebody go and watch the show and make sure he puts it in. So, if you haven't discovered Spinwiz Comics yet, it is a web and indie comic discovery platform that you can download absolutely free on both iOS and Android to your phone or tablet. And you can read tons of free comics just like this.
I actually did read some comics on Spinwiz the other day, sir.
Oh, very good.
Um,
Jonathan Hendrick that wrote the recount for Scout Comics that is blowing the hell up. He actually has, I think, like 2 or 3 different series up on there.
Yeah, I read a few comics the other day, and I thought it was kind of wild.
I don't know if it's faster on Facebook, Pat. I'm banned from Facebook for another 2 days. Again.
Because he can't play nice.
Pat liked my joke. LOL, porn and comics.
Damn it. And it
check out
is.
this pen.
It does read just like a regular. If you've ever read digital comics, Pat, you just thumb through and read it.
Yeah,
Whatever you want to.
If you scroll up to the top of the chat, the link is there in the on the YouTube channels.
Yeah, I was reading some. I read a couple the other day. I can't even remember what I read. They're just reading whatever caught my eye. But so next week we're going to do Supervillain Team Up 14. Cool.
I haven't read that one since I was a kid.
I'm actually not sure if I've read it. I probably have because, like I said, I've got most of that series, but I'd have to go back and look. But I'm interested to see now. I'll see if I can find us the Champion 16. So I wonder which one do we read first, Champion 16 or Supervillain Team Up 14?
I'm thinking I'm probably going to read Champion 16 first because I've got it over here right in a box.
Oh, you've got it in the box.
I've got it in a box. Living in a box, a cardboard box.
Well, I've got to read, like I said, I got to read those I got from you. They come in today. The Superman Aquaman looks really good.
Yeah, that was good.
I've read that before, but I've got 2 copies of this whole series now. So, and 100-page Batman's always good to read. But I got those to read, and then I got. I think I showed you earlier. There's something unusual for you, Pat.
Oh, cool.
Quack.
Quack, quack, mofo.
Yep.
Pat's still using the site we sent him for the sci-fi magazines.
Cool. We try. I actually picked up the issue of Analog, the newest issue of Analog when I was out working. I didn't know they were still publishing that magazine, and so I've been slowly reading it. But cool.
I gotta grab a couple of issues of Back Issue magazine. They did one of the 90s Titans run.
The actual 90s Titan runs, not the 80s. So that was that's the third series?
Yeah, that's the Baxter run. That started with them against I was gonna say Mephisto, but it's Trigon. When they were fighting Trigon in the first few, where Nightwing had the best costume ever, the disco collar,
the big collar,
the circus collar. But he was like, "Oh, the stupid disco collar." I'm like, "Well, if you want to tell Nightwing he wears a disco collar, go right ahead. I'm sure he'll kick your ass."
It's the dead man collar. But cool.
I was watching somebody else's podcast and I was heckling them because that's what I do. But one of the guys, it was from one of the other comic book groups, and one of the guys is a huge cheesecake fan, shall we say, and he was showing off a whole bunch of original Volume 1 Vampirellas that he had graded.
Oh God.
They're all like low grade, low to mid. So he's got like a number 1 that came back like a 4.5 and but he was holding on to him. I go, so I'm like typing and I go, dude, quit molesting Vampirella. I'll show her off any chance I get. I go, dude, if you could show off a girl like Vampirella, you wouldn't be sitting in your house on podcast right now. So shut up.
Be out in public.
And I was giving Randall a hard time because Randall got out of comics and then got back into comics and fell back in love with Superman for Superman 123. The stupid Electra Blue Superman? The dumbest thing they've ever done to Kal-El from Krypton.
I think that's what we were discussing last time.
Good Lord. This boy, if he is out anywhere and he's got $2 in his pocket and they have they have a few copies of that. He will extend credit on his credit card to buy up all the copies. He's probably got like a whole long box of those. I go, yeah, that would be great. I mean, anytime I'm out and I find a copy of, the X-Men, the Uncanny X-Men versus the Teen Titans
Yeah,
one
we
shot,
talked about that.
I'll, if I can grab it for like, $5 or $6, I'll grab it and I'll sit down and reread it again and, put it in back, put it aside and then, file it back in a box later. But, at least that book, still holds, close to a $10 value, not like Superman 123.
No. I mean, they're probably, they're good for toilet paper right now.
Mm-hmm. But he had gone out to Best Buy and bought like a few like 4K Blu-rays, and he had waited on the on that Deathstroke animated R-rated movie, and the one that came out last month, I think.
Okay.
So DC released this animated feature with Deathstroke, but it was an R-rated movie because of the violence and language.
Yeah.
It was like $25-$30 when it came out, and he picked it up for like $6.
Okay, so question of the night: Frank Miller, a true great, but also kind of overrated, right? I have to ask because I'm a Batman fanatic, even though Batman is the Marlboro cigarette of comics. He's overrated now. I think
Couldn't Batman be the weed of comics?
No, Batman doesn't use drugs.
But I do.
I think after the 90s, I mean, definitely now, Frank Miller's overrated. I mean, his name sells books now, but I haven't read anything by him since, he left Sin City that was worth reading. We got the GD Batman.
Yeah. Of course, the original Dark Knight was groundbreaking.
Yeah.
And his Daredevil stuff was groundbreaking.
Phenomenal.
Oh, speaking of Frank Miller,
don't forget Dark Knight. He did Year One too.
Mm-hmm. He did early '90s. He did like just about all the covers on the original Unity for Valiant Comics.
Oh, did he? Kind of like GWS doing the Exo Man of War stuff.
Mm-hmm. So what's crazy is when I was supposedly putting books away today, that didn't go. I didn't put anything away, but I came across two books that I hadn't taped the flaps down. One of them just happens to be a Frank Miller Batman cover. Batman 62 from during the Tom King run. And it is very Dark Knight-ish.
Yeah. You think? The thing is that's so amazing because that looks just like the Dark Knight, from that. It's got the huge bat symbol and all that. And that's such an iconic series, but his art changed so much in between Daredevil and Dark Knight.
Mm-hmm. And not too long after Dark Knight, he's like, well, apparently I have a name for myself and I can just draw a squiggly line like Bill Sienkiewicz and get paid.
Yeah.
So fuck it.
The thing that gets me though, talking about, and Pat's talking about reading it and all that. one of the things that always gets me in Dark Knight is when Superman finally shows up and talks to Ronald Reagan, and he's like, the freaking ultimate Boy Scout, and he's got his hair flowing and everything else. And then when he shows up in the actual storyline with Batman, he encounters him. You don't even see Superman. It's like a freaking red light or a red wave across the damn book as he's going through the alley.
The red blur.
Yeah, the red blur. Where he's melting freaking guns, and he's got the Nazi chick with the Nazi symbol tattooed on her butt.
Weren't they tattooed like pasties across her?
They may have been. I just remember them on her butt too. I'm like, what in the world? I'll tell you somebody that you may like, Pat, if you like Miller and you like that art style. And this is a guy I really like. Is Howard Chaykin. What's that nose scratch for? You don't read Howard Chaykin? You hadn't read American Flag yet?
Yeah, I read American Flag. I used to love it.
Did you? Oh, yeah.
But I popped onto his Facebook group a couple of years ago.
Who, Chaykin's?
Chaykin's, and he was talking about something, and I guess it was his birthday, so everybody's wishing him happy birthday, and I popped in, "Happy birthday, sir," and just wanted to say what a big fan I was of your American Flag series. And then he began to ream me an asshole. Like
really?
Like the douchebag he is. How come you don't know about this new stuff I'm working on? Bah, 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 bah. I go, does it appear anywhere? But your fan page?
Oh, it does. He just did some Batman stuff not too long ago, I think it was.
Chaykin, Chakin, Chaykin.
Chaky, yeah, Kaykin, yeah.
So you can't ask me to spell nothing. I'm no good at that.
Yeah, yeah, I knew it's kind of weird. But Chaykin did a lot of really good stuff. But he's got that similar kind of art style as Miller, and really gritty, grim stuff. If you get into Chaykin, he was friends with Wally Wood before Wood passed away. Wood helped him get his career started way back in the day. So that's
why couldn't it have been Chaykin?
That's why. Damn it! This is why you got banned from Facebook. But
next week I'll be on Facebook, but I'll be banned from YouTube.
You'll be banned from YouTube. But I mean, this is why Chaykin got mad, because he's like 70 years old.
Oh yeah, they're all like, every time Ryan calls me an old grumpy boomer, I'm like, dude.
I'm not quite boomer yet, but I might as well be.
I'm not a boomer, and talk to these guys. Then he was making a big deal because I was telling them, you saw it, where I told him, I go, yep, they banned me for saying the phrase "damn Brits," which I never would have said if Thomas didn't put up that bullshit meme from Winston Churchill, shit talking Americans.
I thought it was funny.
It was. And what I said was in jest, but they were like, they listed that. They listed that as hate speech. They listed something else for, you refuse to acknowledge Joe Biden as president-elect. So everything you say is misinformation.
Did they really?
I'm like, and then the other one was bullying, and yeah, I did. I trolled the fuck out of somebody.
Oh my God.
Because you know how I hates the Kates?
Yeah.
That's like a band from the 1770s. Exactly, Pat. So
That's
so
terrible.
I pop into one of the groups that I really hate, which is the spec group. I hate the spec groups. I'm like, because in my opinion, they're driving up a false price on just about everything.
Yeah. Especially if
So
it's got a damn grade on it.
if it's got a grade on it, if Donnie Cates mentioned it on his podcast, all this stuff. And my my biggest beef about the whole Donnie Cates thing is he a great writer? No. Is he a good writer? Yeah, he's all right. But what he did is he discovered a formula that works with this new breed of fanboys. So he sticks to that formula. He does this, 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 and he puts all kinds of stuff into a story that is not necessary.
Well, I did like the new issue of Thor.
Look, Thor killing Galactus,
No, not that. I'm
I
talking the
call
new one.
bullshit.
Yeah, there's BS on that one.
Bullshit.
There's BS on that one. I'm talking about the new issue that just come out with Don Blake in it, The Return.
Oh, I didn't see. Well, I don't collect it, so.
Yeah, well, you need to read that one. I enjoyed it.
Who
It's
wrote,
kind of freaky.
who wrote that? Donnie Cates?
The Cates.
See, you're gonna have to send me like a case of beer or something for me to read that.
A case of beer. I'll have
A case of
Grubhub
beer,
bring
and hey, Donnie, I'll read that book, but I'm not gonna pay for it.
All right, now. We'll be back on some minor stream next week. Now they will be on Facebook or YouTube.
See, what we're gonna do is we're gonna drive down to Louisiana. We're gonna get one of those oversized soup cans from the kitchen,
Yeah,
and like 5,000 feet of string, and we're just gonna like attach it to the side of Pat's house, and we're just gonna yell into the soup can, pull the string really tight, hope it works. Can you hear me?
we'll host it from Pat's house.
Yeah, screw it. We'll just go to Pat's house and do a live episode.
Oh God!
Pick me up and don't cut through any any back roads down there because a gator will eat you.
Yes, they will.
And man, that guy this week had balls of solid rock in Florida when the gator tried to eat his dog and he jumped in and rescued his dog.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I would have been like walking home with my head down.
My damn dog's gone.
I love my dead dog.
The dog was this big. It was a little girly dog.
I'm like, and I heard something that was perfect with that today. It goes, do you know how that happens? From these idiots walking their dogs too close to any form of water in Florida. He's lucky. He's got tons of old stuff to read. Whole run of Red Sonja, $70.
It's a good price.
That's a real good price.
Is that the Thorn? That's the Thorn series, isn't it, Pat?
He said he's got like a 5-minute delay going on.
Yeah.
What did I find? I found more Jim Ballant Tarot, Witch of the Black Roses.
Bunch of stuff.
I found a Kabuki Agents. Remember Kabuki?
Yeah, I remember Kabuki by David Mack.
Yep.
Yep. Oh, Ghost is good.
Ghost. I loved Ghost. I've got the entire first series of that.
Yeah, I've got a handful of issues.
Jeff Smith.
Bone.
Kind of. This is the Rose miniseries. It was like a square bound, and the art in this was fantastic. 'Cause it was Charles Vess.
Huh. Cool.
And this Project Overwatch. This is one of 9 ash cans of this book that never made it to permanent print because Blizzard bought this and turned this into the Overwatch video game.
Really?
This isn't supposed to exist, which is also why I can't find a price point for this anywhere. Plus, this one obviously was a sketch cover and has an original sketch on the front by Javier Lugo. It was written by Martin Dunn. I don't know if you've seen this one.
Yeah, you showed me that one last week. Yeah, it's got a cool cover.
Well, let's see. I know in here, and I showed you the 3 connecting covers, right?
I can't remember that.
The number one's Iron Man, Immortal Hulk, and Thor.
Yeah, you showed me that.
The connecting covers. Yeah, so you're talking Immortal Hulk, like number ones. Oh, here's my champions. They're right on the top of the box. It's 13. Nope, I don't have it in this one. It's going to be in one. It's going to be in one of the other boxes. These are all my extra copies of Champions that I'm selling.
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot with me out right now. So I got that few things I showed you a while ago and a big old Cadillacs and Dinosaurs book. But
yeah, I got this Captain America
Man at a
miniseries.
Time.
Man at a Time, yeah.
Yep.
I think that's like 4 issues. I'm selling that too.
Yeah.
Very, very Overwatch looking. Yeah, it should be because it's what
It is
spurred
Overwatch.
on. It is Overwatch. It's what spurred on the book, and
So there are only 9 copies, right? That you know of.
There were only 9 copies, and this is one of the 9 copies. But when you look online, it says, when it refers to it in like the small print,
Yeah.
it says none available.
Crazy.
Because I think they kept a couple of them, and all the ones on the table, Blizzard, when they did the deal, Blizzard took them all as part of the deal. So none of them are supposed to exist. Now, I love that book, but if it's the only one in existence and it has an original sketch cover from the artist that did it, and it's the book that launched Overwatch, I wouldn't be upset if it was worth like $5,000 and I would sell it in a heartbeat.
Yep.
And then I could pay off all 3 comic book stores that I owe money to.
So you're in debt for $5,000?
No, not even close.
Not quite.
I probably owe my shop probably like a couple of $100. I probably owe my secondary shop about $400 or $500. And the other one I don't owe anything to because none of the books that I ordered from him have come out. Oh no,
Okay.
he's got. I think I had him pull a couple of the spawns that came out today.
I got you.
The Spider-Man homage ones there.
All right. Well, what I'll do is I'll get the other book up too, and I'll get it to you, and then we'll plan out a day next week, and then we'll get back for our new issue or new episode.
Yeah. I'll have to figure it out because I don't know. Yes, we do read graphic novels.
all the time.
Let's see. You want to read Stomp Town in 1979 9/9. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, neither one of those. Yeah, they're kind of missing me.
I've been reading a lot of indie stuff, Pat.
100 Bullets is good.
100 Bullets Over Christmas?
Yeah,
Is that a one shot, or you're just going to read the entire run of 100 Bullets Over Christmas?
yeah. 100 Bullets is good.
Mm-hmm. They wrapped the pilot episode of Why the Last Man.
Oh, did they? Sweet.
So I'll be looking forward to that. And so I don't know what's going on. I know. Oh, don't be sorry. I don't know what's going on next week.
Okay.
Pat, I'm very excited. All of my comic books are finally coming back home. And my toys and action figures and models and games and
So next week we can
a
go
whole bunch
through
of
and
other stuff.
have your private tour of the place.
No, it's going to be a mess.
It's going to be a mess.
It's going to be a freaking mess.
Dang it. All right. Well, I'll figure it out.
Oh,
and then
nice. Pat's going to read the whole 100 Bullets. He got them on loan. Yeah, indie is good stuff. You gotta keep up with my my other podcast there, Creators Outlet, which now you can go to ageofindie.org/Creators Outlet and actually download and listen to the audio portion of Creators Outlet.
Cool.
So you can download it onto your iPhone and listen to it in the car or whatever.
Listen to it on the drive.
Mm-hmm. There is a new indie book that is almost finished. It's up on Kickstarter for I think a couple more days right now. Called The Listener. It is one of the most beautiful books I've seen since Innovation Comics. Nerdrotic. Is that a shop down by you, Pat? Oh, he's opening a new store in Texas. Yeah, well, he'd have to drive to Massachusetts to get them.
You don't offer drop shipping?
I wouldn't know what to charge for drop shipping. I got to go through all the stuff when I get it. But they wanted to move it Monday, but Monday and Tuesday in Rhode Island, it is supposed to rain.
Yeah.
Number one, you are not moving any of my comics or toys in the friggin' rain.
No.
Number two, my friend who has all my stuff housed right now, he's not going to pull out his stuff and leave it outside in the rain. So this guy wanted to go down and take a look. I'm probably give him I'm probably gonna have to give him a call like Monday morning.
Okay.
But he wants to go down to my friend's house and take a look. My friend said, "Here, give him my number," and I already gave him his number that he called me from, so he knows who's going to be calling. But Mike already told me, and I relayed it to him, that you're going to need at least a 20-foot truck, or you're going to be making multiple trips.
Yeah, because you said you had a bunch of long boxes.
Mm-hmm. All the stuff together, like half the stuff is just random stuff in boxes.
Yeah.
Clothes, pictures, photo albums, like my daughter's toys and stuff from when she was little. so she's not going to care about any of that crap.
Not now, but she will later.
Yeah, for the most, she might want to keep like the inside out stuff, and
Yeah.
you know, all the rest is just like, you know. And as soon as her mother sees it, goes, "Oh, you don't want that? Let me take it for your sister." I'll be like, "Yeah, okay, $800." She'd be like, "Well, you don't pay anything." I go, "Yeah, you didn't pay anything for 10 years either, so get out of my house." Uh, but and then there's like, you know, clothes, uh, my airbrush Joker leather jacket, um, bunch of hockey merch, uh, action figures, collectibles, autographs, original art. We'll have to see. So anywhere from Wednesday to Friday, they'll be showing up, and there's so much stuff that this is going to be like an all day affair. It took Mike 2 months with 3 vans plus other people helping with trucks to move my stuff out of my old house and haul it back to his place.
God.
Plus the owner of the house and friends of his who he had come and pack didn't give 2 shits. They grabbed boxes and they were just throwing stuff whamby bamby in them. They weren't packing it. They were just throwing stuff in boxes, folding the flaps of the boxes together and stacking them up, going all over the place. So after they packed everything, Mike and Louie probably spent like, for every 10 hours that they were there with Tony and his friends helping, Mike and Louie spent like another 20 hours undoing everything that they had tossed into boxes and, you know, properly packing it and,
Straightening it out.
And I know if they threw stuff in the way I think they threw stuff in, you're going to hear me screaming in Louisiana, Pat, because those fools probably took all my loose comic books in my bedroom and just started throwing them willy-nilly into boxes, not placing them or doing anything, which will piss me off.
Dang it.
At that point, I'll be throwing out probably like cases of comics because they'll be all destroyed.
Well, let's hope not. But
So
yeah.
I'll have to find out. But either way, hopefully we'll be back next week with Supervillain Team Up number 14. This could take 5 minutes, so I'm sending it now. Have a good day tomorrow. You too as well. Enjoy your turkey day. After 5 weeks, my timing is off. We should shoot for about this time next week. As soon as Thomas lets me know his schedule beginning of next week, I'll write up
I'm off Thursday.
If he's off Thursday, we'll do it Thursday night.
Yeah.
And I'll put up the post ahead of time.
All right. Cool. So then we'll be back
there
next Thursday.
We will be back next Thursday. And so until then, cheers. Kick open that top button on your pants tomorrow. Relax. And pull your own damn finger and blame the dog. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.